Okay, I'm trying to do this in one take because I don't want to have to edit anything. You're going to want to do everything in one chunk so that the Perl can load everything. So if you build it, oh, what the heck? Smear, I want stack. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Right. I don't know why I didn't just finish stacking this out. So the first thing you're gonna decide is your location for the chamber, for the Perl. So let's get some soul sand. Got water. Now you're gonna need water. Boop, boop, boop. So you're gonna need to put it 4 blocks away, I think. Well, water, pistons, that redstone, and the piston here. Well, anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go deeper. Okay, and then to power the piston, you're going to quasi power it with a comparator here. The important part is that the quasi power, that this redstone turning off doesn't, yeah, I don't fucking know how it works, it just does. Okay, but there's lots of ways to do this. You're just trying to count to 2 when it's within a certain amount of time. The issue is that the chunks stay loaded for 10 seconds before the chunks unload, and the chunks need to unload for this to work. We need an armor stand. Just keep building it the way I know how. We're gonna need a repeater here. I don't want to fuck up. Okay, we need a repeater going into this from our powers that we get from this redstone block. Like that, and then we need this piston to push that redstone block back this way, and this piston to push it this way, and this piston to destroy the water, and then we need water here. And we need blocks over this water here. That's very important. And we need an armor stand with boots with Frostwalker. And then you need to break this. And so basically this water freezing is going to update this piston, which is going to power it because it was QC'd. And we need redstone here to update this piston. And we need to get the power from this redstone block. And we need to disconnect these two so that they don't touch each other. Trigger this, and then when this goes like that, it'll instantly reset. I don't know why. Like, it breaks when you update that piston instead, because of update order or something. But yeah, this is the fastest you can break the ice and be ready to break it again possible. And you don't need to actually use any like hoppers or droppers or anything to count items or this is just it's the best version. You don't need any slime. I wish you could use only one comparator, but you need the time. You need more time. Yeah, so basically how this works is when it first powers, you can see that this piston is now QC'd, and then once this line turns off, when you activate this again, it'll update this piston and it'll allow it to turn on. And so basically when you log in once, after you log out, wait 10 seconds for the chunks to unload, and then you log in, and this ice will freeze, does that, And then for this time, while this is on, you can log in again, and it will teleport you immediately. You just put a Perl here, and then let's say I log in, and I log in again. Yeah, basically. And then for the copper golem teleporter, you're gonna need copper. You're gonna need a any kind of copper block, I think, and a carved pumpkin. And then you're going to need a redstone torch, like some redstone, a comparator. You don't need a repeater. You don't need an observer. You need a dispenser. You need a dropper, a hopper, a barrel, a chest. So first you have the dropper pointing up into the. You're gonna want to make sure this copper golem can't get out. Yeah, I'm not good at anything. Carved pumpkin. And you're gonna need to wax him because otherwise it'll break after a while, obviously. Honeycomb, comb. Or you can put him in like a piece of scaffolding or vines or something, but it's just easier to wax him. Or you could put him. I don't know if you can put him in a minecart. That would work. And then you need a barrel, which we will power with redstone. And then you need a hopper that gets locked by this redstone. And then you need a chest up here. Pretty simple, and he needs to be able to open it, obviously, so yeah. If you have 2 walls, he can fit through that gap. So, but he won't try. It's just if you put him on a lead or something. Yeah, so we need to power this line. We need 2 redstone here with this comparator. We need to fill this chest up with junk items. We need 64 here and 34 here, and then a compass. And what I like to do as well is I put a comparator here to make sure we're not empty, and a sticky piston, and another observer. Am I blind? Am I stupid? Okay, observers will place the direction you're facing. I'm gonna just put some items in here for real quick. And then I like to use a gold block. And a note block. This just tells me when I need to fill it. Now, fill it back up with compasses. So now, you're gonna need your lodestone anywhere in the same world. It needs to be in the same dimension, so it can't be crossed from the nether to the overworld. And you could put it anywhere. As long as you have an ender pearl here, it'll work. And this is really simple. You just need to put a trapdoor here. And yeah, that's all you need to do. Now let's just show you what happens when we put like 2 items. Yeah, well now that's empty. Yeah, so it's instant, but it's really fast. Okay, so let's charge our compasses up. Oops. Yeah, you just want a lot of them. And I like to name them from... it's actually kind of important because if you have a lot of these, it's really hard to know what compass goes to what. So you need to name them not just like a number, but you need to name them like a base, like to stash. Base to stash is basically going to mean that this lodestone is at your base and this compasses are at the stash. So this does tell anyone where the lodestone is if they find your stash, but hopefully you don't keep your lodestones with anything else important. That's critical. So I like to max this out. You can get iron from a iron farm and redstone from trading with clerics. And then I also like to leave a few in this barrel so that once it runs out, I can put them in and then go to the lodestone and then charge up the rest of the compasses. And then you're going to need one in your hand. And then you're going to need, when you come over here and you charge them up, like let's say I just had a bunch of compasses and I charge them up, I'm going to put all of them in a chest or something, and then I'll just break and replace this with only one. And then I'll put that one in this chest. Yeah, and then it's done. So actually, you need to put one in here manually as well. One that's good. So now when he takes this out, he won't take it out if I'm looking in there, but the problem is if he's holding more than one at a time, it can mess things up. Actually, in this version, it's fine. But he can't put it in, but you see as soon as I break this, now you're going to want to stand... I put blocks around it like this. And then you're going to look in your inventory and make sure you have no lodestones so that they don't go there instead of your hotbar. And then I open up like my second slot so that when it drops, I can pick it up and then immediately switch to my second slot and place it back down as quickly as possible. Yeah, and that's basically it. So you're going to have this thing at where you have a bunch of lodestones. Boop, 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 all the places you can go. And you're going to label them with the same name as you named the compass, obviously. Yeah, and then you can go wherever you want. So whenever you want to go to any of your locations, like this is like out of Arch 2, I would just relog twice. And then break the correct lodestone and I'd be out there. And then when I want to go back, I can do it again. And if you want to prevent people from knowing when you're going back and forth from a bunch of locations, you can put another lodestone. Or I suppose you could probably do something with a fishing rod, but one thing you can do... Fishing rods are good, but you can't... If you log out and log back in, you're instantly teleported, so it's good for escaping combat. But then, this is kind of... That's what I like to do, there's other ways to do it. You don't need an ender pearl chunk loader because the chunk will stay loaded for 10 seconds. I don't know if it actually stays loaded like entities in processing and stuff. But if it does, then you can just use a tripwire hook to measure the pearl coming in and out. I think you do need a portal for that. This is portal-less, it doesn't require any slime at all. It doesn't really require honey. So it's very cheap. That's why I like it. The only thing that's hard to get is the Frostwalker, mainly. Okay,